What's worse than Naruto? Someone pretending to be Naruto. What's worse than that? Maybe some of the people behind these comments. But what's worse than that? Well, this.
Music start!
I wanted to go over the absolute worst of the worst, more as a cautionary tale than anything else. Because as anime fans, can we learn from our mistakes of getting too invested in fictional characters, and take to heart the lessons from the very shows we are watching? Oh, apparently not. Okay, that's just an incident waiting to happen.
Frickin' Fritz! Just can't ever be quenched! And your fantasies can't ever be quenched, can they? You frickin' Fritz! When will you learn? When will you learn that your actions have consequences?
Welcome back. I'm Dusk. Now you probably like all the same things I like anime and video games, and other subcultures and niches around it. If that's you, then subscribe. But we all have that one friend that may be a little too into things, like it's their entire identity. It's not that bad.
Don't fuck with me! I have the power of God and anime on my side! Wait,
But there's a lot more you can be into as a hobby. And if that person is you, let me help you out at the end of this video. But then you have the people that get angry, like really angry. But instead of turning off the video, they proceed to become more invested. Outrage over fictional work is something that's been around for a long time. Take the harassment that a young Jake Lloyd received as a literal child for being Anakin in The Phantom Menace. What kind of unhinged person would do such a thing? Surely this kind of behavior is stopped over 20 years later. Nope, they just have easier access now. Aside from Western media, this kind of toxic ownership is in the anime fandom and to an extent in the VTuber space too. Because, you know, an anime waifu you can talk to is a dream come true for a lot of us. But why get so enraged that someone would feel the need to harass and even life-end someone for media? Because we all know that none of it is real. It's all just pixels on screen for entertainment purposes. So why the very real outrage? Studio Gainax was the animation studio responsible for the hit anime Neon Genesis Evangelion. In the 90s, people weren't happy with the anime's low-budget ending. Then the recap movies Death and Rebirth were released, with Rebirth acting as the new ending. But the film wasn't long enough to cover the intended plotline, so the end of Evangelion was announced. But before that, angry fans sent numerous angry letters, which can be read on the EvaGeeks Weekly fully translated into English. Not all were bad, but the worst one was saying, "Ano, I'll kill you." Director Hideaki Anno actually put these letters into the end of Evangelion film, along with a photo of the studio's front after it had been vandalized with the most profane English word. And this was before everyone had access to the internet. Mobile Suit Gundam The Witch from Mercury is a 2022 series that features the franchise's first female protagonist. Honestly, I'm surprised it took this long, with Yuri elements that we haven't seen in a big release in a long time. Very reminiscent of what Utena did back in the 90s that made it a very influential anime. But there was some outrage over an article change and some comments made by the studio, which caused a small minority to encourage burning down the studio. Now with this story being so recent, it's important to take it very seriously, because as we'll go over in the last story, these threats shouldn't be taken lightly. This was on the Gundam subreddit. I couldn't find the post to burn down Sunrise or Bandai because it's thankfully been deleted. Just the screen from Reddit mods on Hirohei's video. I was surprised by this actually happening. I can't remember an anime having this kind of negative impact in recent memory. It's okay to not agree with a corporation's response, and it's okay to really like an anime so much and have it mean something to you. I'm actually excited to watch this one myself. But the whole calling for violence thing is just too far. Why am I smiling? That's not good. Especially suggesting burning the studio, because sadly we have an actual instance of that happening. And if you're a bit sensitive, I would stop watching now. Kyoto Animation is the anime studio best known for the series K-On!, The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, and the film A Silent Voice. The studio was also known for hiring a lot of women animators, with the studio just having finished the production of the film Violet Evergarden, and turned it in the auto memory doll on July 17, 2019. The next day would be one of the biggest tragedies in animation history and one of the deadliest massacres in Japan's modern history.
やっぱりちょっと残念って思ってる方がいっぱいいらっしゃいますね。
いいもあったり、やっぱり悲しさの方が大きいですかね。亡くなってしまったので、やっぱり悔やみきれない気持ちだと思います。
On July 18, 2019, 42-year-old Shinji Aoba walked into the studio and poured 40 liters of gasoline. Starting the fire set off an explosion with black smoke making its way up the spiral staircase, trapping people on the second floor, the third floor, and the roof within 30 seconds. But that wasn't enough. He also doused people in gasoline and set them on fire while shouting "die," causing these innocent employees to run outside while on fire, burning alive, during which he also set himself on fire and was apprehended by the police trying to flee shortly after. The fire burned to the next day. There were no sprinkler systems or fire extinguishers in the building, and the front doors were unlocked that day. Overall, 36 people were dead, with bodies discovered around the staircase as they were trying to escape, and an additional 34 were injured, including the suspect. It was reported that the studio had also received over 200 death threats months before the attack. What reason could make a person not only plot but carry out such a horrendous crime? He believed the studio plagiarized his novel that he submitted to a contest that was held. That a scene about buying discounted meat in an anime was similar to one he wrote. He is currently awaiting trial for September 5th, 2023. When the Violet Evergarden film was finally released, all of the victims who worked on the film were credited, which is not a thing you get for first-year employees at an animation studio.
亡くなられた人たちの思いがしっかり現れていて、とても感動できる作品だと思います。
Police in Japan are now taking similar threats to other animation studios very seriously. The gruesome details of this crime is why threats in the last story shouldn't be taken as a joke, because all it takes is one person to end the lives of so many talented people in the anime industry, and through this tragedy, change all of ours as fans as well. There's never been a better time to be an anime fan, as it's more widely accepted, more accessible, and more catered to whatever genre you're into. Now, for those of you I want to help out, I want you to know that I've been there before, carrying around a copy of Naruto at school and a box of Pocky in my bag while only listening to Japanese music or anime soundtracks. First off, I would have been friends with most of you, and second, I would never tell you to touch grass. It's too hot outside for that. Now, all I'm asking is before getting involved in an online argument is to take a moment, walk away, and don't let real emotions take over. Maybe try watching something really good or playing a relaxing game. If it's something you don't like, then don't give it the attention so eventually it'll be forgotten about. Give the attention and time to something you really like being an anime boy online, writing scripts, editing, and posting videos about anime. Because our own time is more valuable than we think, and everyone wants it, from advertisers to giant companies like YouTube, and avoiding things like the Make Me Suffer subreddit. It's important to remember that everything we watch is for entertainment purposes, and that everyone should have a comfort place to watch things that make them happy. I want to build that on this channel for everyone who's been watching. I got a long way to go, but I hope everyone will stick around and see what will happen next, because these videos take a long time to write. With that being said, thank you all for watching. Please subscribe and like the video. For those of you who already are, hi, and leave a comment. I try to reply to everyone I get, and while you're here, watch one of the shorts. A lot of work goes into them, and they're pretty unique videos to watch. And I'll see you all in the next video. Also, I still think Jumpstars is a shitty game. Bye. Which can be read on the Evangelion.